Duel, early week spoilers August 4 to 8, Gwen's hot romance. Sarah's complication. Marlena's conflict. Days of Our Lives spoilers for the week of August 4 tease a few twists. Fans can anticipate Gwen Riacek von Leuschner, Emily O. Brian, to get every other risk with Xander Cook Kuriakis, Paul Telfer. Meanwhile, Sarah Horton Kuriakis, Lindsay Godfrey, faces a predicament approximately a mystery she is aware of. Plus, Marlena Evans, Deidre Hall, can have a own circle of relatives predicament after wondering Rachel Black, Alice Halsey. Keep analyzing and let S communicate approximately what's arising with inside the Peacock cleaning soap opera. Gwen Riacek von Leuschner S hot romance. Let S start out with Gwen, who's nonetheless pining after Xander. She idea there has been a risk the night time she were given inebriated together along with her former flame. However, he genuinely isn T over Sarah. That ought to extrade now that XARAH has agreed to document for divorce and get a proper custody decision. While Xander will simply need to transport on. Gwen will probably come to be heartbroken as soon as again. Sophia Choi S secret. Over with Sophia Choi, Rachel Boyd. She is retaining onto a large mystery. Everyone is quite disappointed with Sophia over her quickie adoption in Chicago. Sarah already found out that her tale didn't upload up. However, she additionally faces a predicament due to the fact Sophia informed her that as an affected person to a doctor. Sarah Horton Kuriakis complication. As Gwen attempts to get her paws on Xander again, Sarah will attempt to flow on in her very own way. That could be with Brady Black, Eric Martsolf. However, Brady is centered on Tate Black, Leo Howard. So Sarah will maintain being reminded of Sophia S baby. Brady and Tate may even ask Sarah a few hypothetical questions as a doctor. However, the ones will be complex to answer. Week of August 4, 2025. Susan Banks, Stacey Heidick, ought to keep listening to From the Dead. That ought to have her jogging round Salem making extra pointy-fingered accusations. Steve Johnson, Stephen Nichols, to start with rejected Gabby Hernandez Cherie Jimenez, request. However, he'll extrade his thoughts and look into Xander and Philip Kuriakis, John Paul Lavoisier. That ends in Steve making a surprising discovery approximately his very own daughter. Stephanie Johnson, Abigail Klein. So, Kayla Johnson, Mary Beth Evans, gets with inside the center of that own circle of relatives feud. Meanwhile, Stephanie ought to face a few fallout with the pen call and her necessities to sell the book. After Marlena questions Rachel, she ought to face every other predicament. If Rachel is aware of who honestly shot E.J. DiMera, Dan Feuerriegel. Why changed into She's So Short and charged Johnny DiMera, Carson Boatman? Or ought to Rachel have shot E.J. herself? Perhaps at the same time as sleepwalking? There is likewise Chad DiMera, Billy Flynn, and Kat Green, Annalyn McCord. After getting caught together, will there be extra romance? Or ought to Chad come to be suspicious of what Kat is hiding?